And staying in the United States, President-elect Donald Trump has suggested that Mexico and Canada should become U.S. states if they want to continue receiving subsidies. During his interview with NBC News on Sunday, the president-elect ranted about U.S. trade deficits as a result of the free trade agreement between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. All I want to do is to have a level, fast, but fair playing field.
Now, Donald Trump seemed to be exaggerating the numbers, as the U.S. trade deficit in goods was around $64 billion with Canada and $152 billion with Mexico in 2023. And for the first 10 months of this year, the deficit figures was about $50 billion with Canada and around $141 billion with Mexico. Meanwhile, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum took aim at Donald Trump on Monday, reminding him that he was the one who in fact orchestrated and signed the free trade deal during his first term.
Obviously, Mexico is a free, sovereign, and independent country. I understand that this subsidy he speaks about has to do with the increase in Mexico's exports to the United States, which now exceed Mexico's imports from the U.S. More than looking at each other as competition, we have to look at each other as complementary. It was President Trump who signed the USMCA, and the United States has had a lot of benefits from the agreement.
Donald Trump's comments come days after he threatened to impose a 25% tariff on all Mexican and Canadian exports on day one of his presidency. However, he said the motivation for the tariff was not trade imbalance, but the problem of drugs and migrants coming illegally into the United States via these countries. Following the threat, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau rushed to have dinner with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. However, the president-elect made a mockery of their meeting and called Trudeau the governor of the great state of Canada. Meanwhile, President Sheinbaum said she was doing everything to stop migrant caravans from reaching the U.S.-Mexico border.
Donald Trump raised the issue of migration on their southern border, our northern border, and the issue of fentanyl because those are two issues that he is concerned about. And that was the argument, let's say, for introducing the tariffs. I raised all these issues with President Trump, and I told him that the caravan he mentioned in his publication, well, that caravan in reality is not going to reach the northern border because we have a strategy in place, and it's being taken care of in our country.
Now, it's no secret that the incoming commander-in-chief's tariffs would significantly impact the trade relationship between the three countries, raising the prices of goods for all Americans. But it remains to be seen if Donald Trump would sabotage his own free trade pact with Mexico and Canada and let Americans suffer.